Hey guys, welcome back to the second half of F1 2023 season previews brought to you by Final Sector. We are back. We are hot off the heels of actually recording our mid-season preview. So hey, if you liked our longer form content that we used to do, we've got a fresh, audio format for you to listen to on your favorite platforms, YouTube, Spotify, wherever the hell you like. You can probably find us.
Yep.
So,
I think it's our longest recording so far at just over 2 hours. I don't think we ever beat 2 hours for a single recording.
Yes,
before,
it was a sizable chat, and it was good that we got it done.
Yeah.
I've kind of been away for a few weeks, but I am happily back in Australia now. Back on some, I was going to say more appropriate time zones. I guess more appropriate time zones to chat, not necessarily for the racing. But irrespective, we're excited to have some racing back. And of course, we are heading to let's call it the homeboys' favorite, the orange sky of color. We are going to the Dutch Grand Prix in circuit of Zandvoort, of course. Been here for a few years now. One that, we saw it was coming back, made sense given the hype around, Max. But it was kind of an old track, a thin track. It's like, is this just going to be a bunch of crap? But they reprofiled it. They made it with some unique corners that broke some, traditional track creation rules. And it's done all right so far. So I'm not necessarily dreading it going into here. But what do you think? Are you looking forward to something in particular? Are you happy to be back? Happy to have F1 back?
Yeah. I'm very tired right now, but
I'm trying to keep the energy up. I'm trying.
Listen, we've made every single video we want to this year, and damned if I'm going to let a little tiredness stop me today. But
exactly, that's the spirit. I don't know if you can hear, but my internet is deciding to cut out. This is good timing. It wasn't that. His computer crashed. Right.
All right. That's fine.
I guess just
Listen.
talk. It's your show. You just do it.
My computer definitely did not just crash. I'm glad it saved all that footage. But back to the point, Dutch Grand Prix, yeah. So having a little look online, the tyre compounds, which is a big thing here because of the banked corners. There's a lot of tyre wear. They had, I think last year they had the C1, C2, C3 tyre, which they're also bringing back.
Yes,
but the C1 tyre is obviously that new C1 that's like the in-between C0, C2. So it is a little bit different. It turns out the tyres might not matter because, hey, another wet weekend potentially as well.
You stole the thunder from one of my points.
Unbelievable.
Looks like it's going to be
I can't
wet.
I can't believe how it's just following every single race. I feel like every race weekend for the last 5 has been wet in some capacity. It's quite insane. The Saturday Sunday is looking like it could be wet for sure. And
it's at least going to be pretty chilly, even if it's not wet.
Cold,
it looks like it's still going to be pretty overcast and pretty chilly.
Yeah,
So hey, but I feel like we've normally had decent conditions here. I could just be talking out of my ass, but I feel like it being chilly might throw something up in the air, so we'll have to see how it goes.
I think they were saying it was going to be quite a lot chillier than it was at least last year. I think it was quite a bit warmer last year. So again, even if it is chilly, that plays into tyre degradation. If it's temperatures that they've not seen before, then the way it reacts to the tyres is going to be a little bit different. So yeah, I don't know. We will see. But I think they were saying last year, people were going choosing between 2 and 3 stop strategies. So I'm curious to see if that is going to change with the temperatures. But again, it might be all for naught with rain in the air. So
yes,
who knows?
They could still make it interesting though, as long as we don't get too much rain, of course. But we'll see how we go.
Yeah, I'm also keen to see rain on the banked corners. Obviously the rain's going to go down, but
it'll be a little bit different.
Yeah,
okay.
I wonder how that's going to work.
Get a little bit then. We'll see how we go. But yes, there is a little bit more going out there as we head into this weekend. So something we want to get out there. I mean, I know a lot of Max Verstappen haters are trying to say that this is the end of his career, but Verstappen has made the news over the midsummer break for some bizarre reasons, let's say.
Guilty.
Where it seemed like,
He's guilty.
He's guilty. Well, I think even he's guilty. I don't think it really matters. He's basically been seen. There was some onboard camera of him in an Aston Martin Valkyrie in France, I believe, and it kind of showed that he was speeding in an area where you can't speed. So people, are like, oh, France is really harsh on this, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yes, he's obviously done something dumb. It's not going to stop him from turning up. They're going to sort it out, but still, he probably shouldn't have done it.
I think this is more telling that maybe he's actually gunning for Stroll's seat for next season, I reckon.
Yes.
I reckon it's more of like a
it's all a PR campaign.
Yeah, PR campaign for sure.
Yes, so you may see some people talking about that, and I don't know if it will come up, but knowing Sky, maybe it will a little bit.
Yeah, true.
She'll make a comment on it.
Yeah, true.
There is a little bit else going on. We are seeing one of our recent favorite rookie drivers actually turn up for FP1. Robert Schwartzman will be stepping in instead of Carlos Sainz in Ferrari.
I was surprised to see his name. I forgot he was the test and reserve driver.
He is the test driver. He is one of those drivers, I think, that was, in that kind of Piastri era where Piastri didn't get in, so no one else was, and he kind of missed out. But, that we've seen a lot more of a push for rookie drivers recently. And so it looks like that, they're giving him a shot still as their reserve rookie.
I think it's also into the fact that you still have to run two non-main drivers.
There is still that. Yes,
I think it's
clause.
probably more that than anything else.
Of course. I think most teams would try to run it towards the end of the year because I guess they're trying to give their drivers as much experience, in the heart of the season. Yeah. So certainly, this is the first. There's probably been a few others this year, has there? No, I don't know.
I don't remember, but I think there's.
I know. I feel like I would have remembered a few, but still, as you say, it's nice to see a face on the grid that we didn't mind following as well. And there's a few other little things. I think in terms of upgrades, I saw that Haas apparently are bringing an upgrade here, not just a straight improvement to the 2023 car though. They also seem to bring something that is also going to assist them in developing next year's car. So it's not just a strict, okay, this is going to work for here. It could be more of like a like a sidestep or like a potential concept change that might not work out. I think as we were talking about in our mid-season break podcast, how a lot of those higher teams fighting for really P2 in the constructors have to decide if they're going to go all in or move across, while some teams like Haas are probably, saying, look, we kind of know where we are. We're maybe fighting for those last kind of points with AlphaTauri and all that, but, bigger picture, let's, use the last of the resources here, considering it's still a cost, there's still cost constraints, development constraints, etc. Seems wise that they're doing something that could actually help out this year, but it's also going to help them for next year as well. And they said they also have something planned for the end of the year, so they've also actually still got something coming down the line too, which is reassuring to know that there's still potentially a few changes coming. I didn't see anything else from any other teams at this stage. I might have just missed it, but Haas was the main one that I saw, so I'll have to see how they go, of course. And I guess there's still an open question saying Alpine, who's running the show this weekend? They have kind of their step-in CEO that's kind of covering everything, and it seems like that will still be the case, but hey, we'll see what happens. I'm sure there'll be plenty of coverage and if you asking what the hell's going on.
Yeah, if you want to know our full thoughts, we went pretty deep into it in our mid-season podcast. So
can't plug that enough. It was a good chat that. So plenty of stories there. But yeah, so look, those are the little stories I had. Was there anything else you had picked up at this stage?
Nah, that was it. Pretty much exactly the same things you had. So
I think it was, yes. So we have to, of course, go all the way back to when we had Spa with our sprint race with that wild, wacky, wet weekend. And our predictions. I forgot.
No idea. No idea what the points are and what my predictions were. So.
Yeah, so going into that, we're actually ending the season very close, where I was on... of course, I've removed what we were on. I believe I was on 22, you're on 21.
That sounds about right, yeah.
Yes, that is, because if I take it off, that's how it was. So I knew there was 1 point between us. I did remember that, so it was quite close. And I forgot that over the Spa weekend, I almost got a pretty perfect scorecard. If it weren't for that sneaky Piastri actually doing the better of the teammate in the sprint, I would have also got the sprint one. But I did, for the full race, actually get the full points. My my faith in the Ferrari actually panned out for once, as I think it did earlier in the year once. So I used them sparingly, but when I put it on red, it does seem to pay out. So I got the full 3 for that, and we both still got the 1 for Max, but you also got a half because you had Checo in P3, so he did at least get up there. So you do get the half. So that would mean I'm now on 25, and you're on 22 and a half. I say that as if I haven't quadruple checked it. But, I've said this in the past, fine. And...
probably fine.
You're getting the calculator out the side, it's fine. Yep. I'm no mathematician here, all right? So, we do need to go into this weekend. We, of course, still have to get our wild card. But outside of that, just while we're setting that up, I think this one... after all of our mid-season chat is pretty tricky. As we said, it's quite a unique circuit. Yep. And yeah, this is going to be tricky. But anyway, we'll get our driver, which will be position 6. Oh.
Damn.
Your face said it all. That's a crunchy number. I'll go Sainz.
Damn it!
Take the Sainz. No, I'm like he's gonna say it.
I'll go Russell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll go Russell.
The good old P2 drivers of both of those teams. One of them's gonna get it, surely.
Yeah.
Who else can it be? It doesn't make sense. We do have our top 3, and I think we did speak about a cheeky little rule we had where. We have to predict a race where Max will not be P1. So, and I don't know if we I guess we're saying that we have to pick a race where he's just not in our predictions, because we can't go, he's going to be P2 for a free half point. I think you got to go.
Okay.
He dies. I think unless he crashes out, he's So
fair enough. That's fair.
So, I guess we'll go through. So, do we want to start? Do we start at the front, or do we leave it a mystery? If we've
it depends. I mean, I don't have to. I'm putting Max at P1.
Yeah, so, I got Max P1.
Yeah. All that spiel for nothing.
You'd be a sinner to bet against him at this circuit in particular, right?
Yeah, so it's coming. I have an idea of where I'm going to take it, but it ain't here.
Okay.
It ain't here.
Yes.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, there are a few places. Maybe when it stops raining, then that's it. That's the race.
Yeah, but I think just his home circuit as well, like how dominant. The first 2 years he's been here, it's been him, and he's just been super dominant.
This is by far his most favourable year, even with those 2 as well.
Yeah, exactly.
What's going to stop?
How do you bet against him here? So it has to be Max P1 for me here. So
yes,
P2, P3 though.
Yes, this is I think because I got a bit of a point lead, maybe I'm feeling a little bit brave and brazy, but maybe I've done this in the past and it's sometimes paid out. So
well, you might be shocked at mine.
I'll go for my P3 first.
All right.
Yeah, I'll go do that. I've put in Mr. Orange, Mr. Lando. I've got in P3.
Ooh.
I know the whole commentary about this car when we first saw it was it might be better at this kind of slower, medium kind of circuits where you need like a lot of kind of those slow but like powerful traction zones and some of those good sweepers. So even before we saw, their performance at tracks that weren't like that, I still figured, look, this track we're coming up to would be their, next best to have a real good shot. Not necessarily at winning, but still, carrying on some strong performance. So
sure.
P3 at least, that's where I have Lando. But what about you for your P3?
I have gone Oscar Piastri. I think he's going to get his first podium. So I have gone McLaren as well. But yeah, I think he's knocking at the door of a podium, and like you say, that McLaren I do expect to be very fast here, especially if there's rain around.
Yes,
it seems that McLaren.
We've seen how adaptable that car and those drivers are to that. Most importantly,
yeah, definitely. And I think it's all primed, even though it's not a circuit that Piastri's ever driven at before. I have actually checked. We've only been here a couple of years. He never drove at an F2.
Yes.
So he's not been here before, but we've seen, again, like you say, how adaptable he is, how quickly he can pick up and be as that close to Lando as quickly as possible. So I have all the faith that he'll be right on Lando's pace. P3, get his first podium, which would be awesome. I think he deserves it the way he's raced this
100%.
year. So.
Oh, for sure. Does this maybe allude to your P2 then? Do you want to go through your P2?
Does it? Yeah, very presumptuous, aren't you there, Kyle?
Well,
very presumptuous.
I don't know what's going on here.
It is Lando P2. So, yeah, I've got an Orange Army fucking P1, P2, P3, don't I? I've got the Max Orange Army and then the McLaren Orange Army. Yeah, I still think Lando has the edge on Oscar, and again, leading to my previous comment, like he has raced here before, Oscar hasn't. I do think that will give him enough of an edge, and I seriously expect that McLaren to be quick here. So, yeah, I feel like it's a very real possibility, but again, it could be very close. They could also be like 4th, 5th, and 6th pretty easily as well. But it's just so close for that second fastest car. So, yeah.
Yeah, you never know. You could have like an Aston Martin that suddenly, found their stride back after the break in a circuit where you might think they, should theoretically be strong at, right? You could have a Merc that just runs out of the gate and is strong with a few changes. The Ferrari is just a wild card at this wild card
the
at this point.
Alpines sometimes are there.
It's true.
Yeah.
So it is this type of circuit where you could just get a car that's set up right, where it's just fast enough in the straights, even if it's poor in the corners, where it can hold people up, and pit strategy could be everywhere. In saying that, P2, it's a tricky one, and maybe I said I wanted to do something a little bit brave, and maybe I do like the colours of orange, but maybe I've swapped them around a bit, and we're gonna get the Australian flag up in P2. For Mr. Piastri.
Whoa, I didn't expect
Double down on the hype for the lad.
Oh my goodness.
I'm glad I did it this order, because then we'd have the bloody same, so this is good. We're on the same trajectory again. Echoing the same thing, but I figured, stuff it. If he showed that, in some areas in Spa he could have a bit of an edge, then why not here, right? I've got a bit of a lead. Let's believe, let's do it. So
I can tell you I didn't expect that one for sure. So that's good. That's good.
I'm happy with how this has played out. But
perfect.
Yes, I guess we'll have to actually remember to turn in this weekend to the Grand Prix, of course. It should be exciting. Again, as we say, there's some cool weather. There's potential wet weather in the air, a few upgrades here and there. Who knows what's going to happen? But rest assured that when it is all over and done, we will be chatting about it on your favorite platform as always, and you can catch us there. But otherwise, be sure to enjoy the weekend, and we will catch you in the next episode. Ciao.